we've made it. We're in Bulgaria. It's Monday morning. I've got 3 exhausted dogs behind me. Oh, hello, Bella. And Chris is out trying to sort his car alarm out because branches keep hitting it. So, what follows is a load of really rubbish footage of our trip across Europe, which was interesting to say the least. Welcome back to Bulgaria. What haven't we done? So a lot of people have told me this is quite a difficult trip going across Europe to get here. And we were very optimistic about it. We were like, oh yeah, well, it's be an adventure. But you know what? Motorways aren't very adventurous, really, are they? So it wasn't the most pleasant of trips. Day one was fine. I did some driving, but only in Britain. Drove to Folkestone, that was really straightforward. Went to the Eurotunnel thing, registered the dogs. Some French press were filming something, I don't know if it was a promotional thing about the dog facilities at Eurotunnel. So they filmed our dogs being registered. Then they filmed us going round the corner. And then they came and asked us would I take them back to the pet playground so that they could film it again because they'd missed that bit. So, you know, my dogs could be French superstars by now. Who knows? It was very embarrassing because I was wearing like one of my tent dresses and it was quite windy and I was thinking my pants are going to be on display for the whole of the French press here, but I got away with it, I think. So yeah, so Eurotunnel, not the most pleasant experience because the dogs wigged out a bit, but we got there. Straight to Calais, straight to lovely accommodation. I know somebody's asked me about dog-friendly accommodation. Booking.com doesn't allow screenshots, so at some point I will write down where they all were and put them in a comment somewhere. Stayed in somewhere lovely, ground floor apartment, enclosed garden, and then we set off the next day. The next day was a doozy because that's the day that you go across all the countries. So we went across France, we went across Belgium, we flirted briefly with the Netherlands, we hit Germany. Everybody said that Germany's the worst bit. We were absolutely fine in Germany with a bit of congestion, but nothing to complain about. We got as far as the Bavaria region, booked a last minute booking.com. Again, lovely garden, beautiful, beautiful place, lovely hostess. Slept really well there. Thought, we've got this. Now we've got 2 hours left in Germany and then it's across Austria, across Hungary, into Romania. No problem. That didn't work out. Day 3 and day 4 were absolutely horrible. So the rest of Germany was all right, bit of congestion, nothing special. Into Austria, pulled over in a service station to get our vignette, which was €11.40 for 7 days. The busiest petrol station I've ever seen. And this very angry woman behind me who was very angry that I'd got to the queue like 3 seconds before her, and she was practically sitting on my shoulder like cursing people. And someone got a vignette and 2 cans of pop, and she was like, no, you should have just got the vignette. Anyway, got our vignette, got back in the car. Austria was really no problem at all. Got to Hungary, pull over again, vignette. We got an 8-hour vignette because we were so determined to get across to Romania, and Hungary was an absolute nightmare. It was just wall-to-wall congestion. It took us hours and hours and hours to get across it. And then we had to wait to get across the border, even though it was like midnight, almost midnight by then. The accommodation that we booked, I let her know that we were going to be midnight. She rang me. She said, I am so sorry, but we're going to be locked up. There's going to be no one to open the gate for you. Just cancel it. I won't charge you. So that was a scramble to find something else. We found a proper hotel in Timișoara, which wasn't ideal for the dogs, but we were just grateful to have somewhere to lay our heads, to be honest. So we went there. Slept like the dead for about 6 hours, and then we were up and off again. Bella peed on the carpet. I'm hoping they haven't noticed. I did try and clean it up. And off we went again. And the maps, and I know you can't really pay any attention to maps, but maps said 4.5 hours to the border that got us to Vidin, because the Ruse border that we normally use is on single file traffic on traffic lights for the next 2 years. because I've just, moved to Romania, so it would like to block my access to my Bulgarian village. Anyway, the traffic was shocking. We were up these mountains. It was so beautiful, and we could have really enjoyed it, but we were just stuck in flaming traffic. So it said 4.5 hours. It was actually 8.5 because Romanian drivers seem to think, it's 40 odd degrees of heat. This is a good time to go out and crash my car on a mountain somewhere. Chris was like, be sympathetic. There could be fatalities. And I said, well, it's not like the scenery jumped out and crashed into them, is it? I'm sorry, I wasn't very kind. Anyway, it took us 8.5 hours to get to Caliphate, which was the border crossing. And then we got across to Bulgaria. And that said 3 hours, 52 minutes, which is what it was. Incidentally, we hadn't stopped at all. We stopped once in the traffic when we were absolutely, we were sat there for 2 hours. We let the dogs out for a pee on the side of the road. And I did not wee from 8:30 that morning. And eventually we were just nearly out of Romania, and I said, pull over, I'm going to have to go. And I was like, I can't go down that embankment. I might never get up again. I'm going to have to go behind the car. And I'm saying to Chris, don't look at me. Don't look at me. And he's going, just, are you still peeing? I'm like, don't look at me. I've not peed for 10 hours. So that was a first, but I kind of chalked it up to, well, these people will never see me again, so who cares? Bella, don't grumble. No one to talk to. And then we got into Bulgaria, and it was like, this is the fastest route. You will save 5% fuel. And I'm not kidding. It was all back roads with massive potholes, typical Bulgarian roads. It was awful. And it did only take 4 hours. But it was the most tense 4 hours of our entire lives. All the dogs were having kittens in the back because, it was upsetting them. And they've had a rough ride. 4 days of different houses and different journeys. It's really upset them. They're all fast asleep now anyway. But they seem to like it here. They've all had a trot round the garden. Ellie's a bit outraged that there are other dogs in the village barking. She has to bark back at them. Bella, you can tell she was a farm dog because she's the only one who had the sense to get out of the heat and come straight back inside. Monica seems to really like it. She's trotted round and round and round the garden. So yeah, we're back. I've got some work for the next couple of weeks, but it's online, so that's okay. My grapevines are absolutely laden with grapes, which is brilliant. We hardly got any last year. My quince tree's got some quinces. My plum trees, I've got plenty of little wild plums. Looks like my cherry trees did well this year as well, although they're finished now. So I'm marking trees for death that aren't producing any fruit for me. I'll go around the garden in the next video, but so Chris is out trying to stop his car alarm going off because branches keep touching his car, and I'm going to get some work done. Welcome to Bulgaria. Enjoy my shit footage. Peace out. See how filled with joy we are at having been up since 6 packing the car. Chris is going to go and look for his glasses now. Next stop, Folkestone. Next stop after that, Calais. Aiming to be in Bulgaria by Sunday or Monday. I think somebody wants to watch the football finals, even though he's not a football fan. Can't imagine why. Right, well, that was ridiculously straightforward. We're here at Folkestone. Is it Folkestone? Anyway, we're at the Eurotunnel thing. Ellie's having a poo, so I won't show you that. I'll just go and pick that up. Bella's there, and Monica's wondering what on earth is happening. Chris has gone to get some water and something to eat, and they've bumped us forward from 4:20 to 2:48 because we were here so early. So can't complain. And they've got this little dog area, which is nice. Am I recording? Am I? Oh yeah. Okay, so we are now in the queue at the tunnel. Ellie is clipped into a harness for the first time in her entire life. We've got no idea what's going on, but we think we're in the right queue. Nobody's told us we're not. Wish us luck. It is exciting. far we'll go down. Come out the other side. Oh, we're in France now. Ellie's having a good look. And Monica's gone back to having a breakdown. Welcome to the Republic of Deutschland. That was a very brief flirtation with the Netherlands, wasn't it? How long were we in the Netherlands for? About 20 minutes. And just in case you're wondering, it's still fucking raining. It's still raining. It would not be us going to Bulgaria if I didn't take a photo of you eating something. Morning number 3. We are somewhere in Bavaria. So we decided to stop for the night, booked this, came off the motorway, went on this absolutely delightful path through all these quaint little villages that I can't quite believe are real, to be honest. And we've ended up here, which is lovely. We're looping in that one with the open door. Better keep an eye on the dogs because there's a solid drop off the end of the garden. But the lady who's looked after us has been really sweet. We got up really late. I thought I'd set my alarm, but I didn't, so we got up just before 8. So we're aiming to make it to Romania today. I don't know if we'll manage that because we lost an hour or so. But we'll see. I know I need to go and get some poo bags for my dog. Still not driven into this heat wave, have we? Day 2 of the very big adventure. We're having a toothbrush crisis. Mine went down the back of the shower, never to be seen again. And the noise you can hear in the background is Chris rattling through his suitcase looking for his. We may need to go and buy new toothbrushes. Day 2, Calais to we don't know where. Our original plan, which went really well yesterday, was just to get to Calais and not to hammer forward and start pressing through the night and all the rest of it. We thought, no, we're going to stop in Calais, we're going to relax. We're going to have a good night's sleep. And it turns out Calais is really nice. I don't think anyone ever sees it because they either go on a booze cruise or they just drive straight through it. It's very quaint and charming, actually. It reminds me a bit of Thornton Cleveland's. So we don't know where we'll end up today. You know, Google Maps and reality are two totally different things. It says on Google Maps that we can whiz across the whole of France, Belgium, the Netherlands and Germany and get to the Austrian border in 6.5 hours. That is absolute nonsense. We know it takes about 12 hours to get across Germany. So we'll see. We've made no plans. Could end up sleeping in the car because we didn't book anything because we don't know where we'll be. We're just going to go with the flow, see how the traffic goes. But we've had a very pleasant night in this hotel, which hey, shall we? A toothbrush. It's a good job we've been married a long time because we're going to be sharing this for the next couple of days. Yeah, this is a really nice, we found it on booking.com, but I assume it's probably on Airbnb and stuff as well. We just went for it because it's dog friendly. And it's a whole little apartment, 1 bedroom, sofa bed in the front room, which the dogs are allowed on, little kitchenette and a bathroom. It's really, really nice. And an enclosed garden, which is very, very important when you've got dogs. And the man lives upstairs in the other half of the house and he's got a little dog as well. and he's been really nice coming down to see our dogs. Very concerned about Monica. Is there something wrong with your little dog? I was like, no, she's just having a nervous breakdown because she doesn't know where she is. The tunnel was fine. It's not the most pleasant experience, but I do think it beats floating for 11 hours like you do on a ferry. And it wasn't that expensive because it was outside of term time. I think it was about 120 quid, and we paid something ridiculous, like £20 per dog, which I don't understand because they're sat in the car with you. It's not like they have anything, apart from being checked in. They don't have anything else to do. But yeah, the dogs did not like it one little bit. They all became very unhappy, and Monica was huffing and puffing in her French bulldog kind of way. And I was like, oh, we're kind of a dead dog on the other end of this. But it is really efficient. So I know most people go by the ferry, but we couldn't find a cheap one anyway. So Calais, here we are. We've brought the weather with us. It's pissing with rain, but we're driving towards nicer weather. That's what we keep telling ourselves. We're driving into a heat wave. And now that Chris has brushed his teeth, I'm going to bully him into eating some bread and ham, and we're going to get going again. Peace out. Welcome to Austria. So glad because I'm so over Germany. It lasted too long. Now we need to find a petrol station to get a vignette. Right, we've made it to Austria, which is good because I was over Germany. And now I've been and queued up for a vignette, and then we've all got back in the car, got all the dogs strapped in. It's really hot, and Chris has decided to go for a pee. Why he couldn't have done that before we got the dogs in the car, I don't know, but there you go. So anyway, it's showing us like about another, because the time changes again, so we're at the moment we're an hour ahead of the UK. Once we get to Romania, we'll be 2 hours ahead. So it's showing us a really late arrival in Romania, which is going to make it difficult for us to check in anywhere, so we might have to stop. We're hoping to get to Romania today. Might have to stop in Hungary, who knows. Today's lunch is a picnic at a service station in Austria. Monica is not happy. She just wants to get settled somewhere. And Ellie has got her foot stuck again. All right, aren't you, Belle? Hungary has just sprung upon us. We really weren't expecting it. Chris has just gone to see if he can get a vignette. We're hoping they take cards because we haven't got any florins. The dogs are sick and tired of this whole thing. We thought we were good. We've just booked accommodation at our last stop in Austria to go over the border into Romania. But since we booked it, the traffic time has just got slower and slower and slower. So when we booked it, it was 5 hours and 20 minutes, and that was an hour and a half ago, and now it's 5 hours and 4 minutes. So I might end up having to cancel that and stay in Hungary somewhere overnight over it after all. We'll see. We'll see. Now that I'm not cursing Hungary for the huge traffic jam, it's quite pretty, isn't it? I like little dainty roofs on the houses. A bit longer than we thought it would, but welcome to Romania, country number 7 of 8. Day 4. This is going to be it. This is it. We're going to make it to Bulgaria today. So we have made it to Romania, Timișoara, which is about an hour away from the Romanian border. We've been advised, because the Ruse border crossing, which we usually use, it's got roadworks for the next 2 years, which is excellent timing given that I'm moving to Bucharest next month. We've been advised to try the Vidin crossing, which is it's about 5 hours away from here. Just putting my shoes on. And then about another 3.5, 4 hours, I think, in Bulgaria. I need to double check it. Basically, we're looking at about 8, 9 hours driving, which compared to yesterday is nothing. We did way too much yesterday. We got stuck in a massive congestion snarl in Hungary, which put another 2.5 hours on our journey. So when we first put it into SatNav, and we know that SatNav's not right, we know that it doesn't take a lot into account, it said 9 hours from Bavaria to Timișoara, and I think it was 13 hours we were driving, plus the time difference made it later. We fell into bed at 1 a.m. Our first hotel cancelled on us because we were so late, which I don't blame her for. She rang me and told me, there's going to be no one there to let you in. So we found this one because it had 24-hour desk, but it's a proper hotel, which means it's been really tricky, running the dogs around outside and please do a poo before we got up here. But they've all slept really well as well. Chris is just loading the car up and we're off. I think this plan to get back in time for the World Cup final is pushing us on, but I don't care. The thing I care about is I've got work to do, and I missed 2 days of work doing this for the exam board, so I've got to get started tomorrow. Right, peace out. Wish us luck. Even though you could put dogs in hotel rooms, apparently you can. Mania. Gosh, it's really hot already. So we reckon we've got, according to Google, 4 hours 20, let's say, 27 minutes in Romania, crossing over at Vidin, and then another 4 hours on the other side to get to Oresh. Well, this wasn't on our plans. I'm currently enjoying the beautiful Romanian scenery from this traffic jam because there's been some kind of car crash up ahead apparently. SatNav tells me we're still on the fastest route, but we were supposed to arrive in Calafat for the border crossing at 1:20, and it's now saying 4 o'clock. So I somehow suspect that Chris is not getting anywhere near the Euros final tonight. Also, I'm in desperate need of a pee, and I know Romanian law says I can pee where I please, but I am not willing to pee in front of all of these people. It really does remind me of Bulgaria. Flags are flying, tile roofs, churches are a little bit more ornate. We need help. There's loads of stalks in villages. Central bit, that's the mayor's house. It's painted orange in the outside. Shops. Oh, Monica, are you awake? This is not a safe way to reach the border. Hard borders suck. I can't wait for them to be done by the way.
I keep waiting for you to call. I'm thinking that I'm gonna need a miracle. Wasted again. I tell my friends I'm feeling like you're coming, cause I feel the sun.
We're in the right country. We've made it to Bulgaria. Only 4 hours of travel to go, and then we will be there. Assuming there are no more road stoppages and things. Bulgaria's never locked down yet, but the amount of bad luck we've had this last 2 days, who knows? But we're on our way home. Honestly, Google Maps needs flaming suing for this. You are on the fastest route. You will save 5% petrol. It has been pothole after pothole after cobblestones after, oh, there's a massive pothole, watch out.
You should be here with me.
It's an absolute nightmare.
No wasting time.
Every time the dog settles down, we end up swinging round the
Don't
bend
ever think it, you
or
were
swinging
there
round
from
the
the start when my
and
heart became yours.
they always again, poor Monica hasn't stopped
You
counting
should
for
be
about 3
here
hours.
with me.
I've absolutely had enough of this journey. I would not recommend it to anyone.
I'm waiting for the special touch you give.
Hear the sound.
I'm needing it more than I ever did. I don't wanna be a sacrifice in love. Before you I will